This is the plaintiff, Shauna Dubose. She says the defendant, her ex-fiancé, owes her money for child support, babysitting fees, and mental anguish. And no matter what she does, he won't pay up. She's hoping the judge can drop some knowledge on the hard-headed, stubborn guy so she can get her money back and be done with him once and for all. She's suing for $1,175, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Larry Fields. He says this lawsuit's simply a ploy to get back at him because he broke things off with the plaintiff once and for all and she can't handle it. In fact, the plaintiff uses the baby they had together as a way of holding things over him in an attempt to get at him and get him to do what she wants. Sue him for mental anguish when she's the one who leaves him messages wishing he dies? Ha! He's accused of not taking care of business.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Shauna Dubois.
Yes.
You are suing Larry Fields, the father of your child, for $1,175 in child support, babysitting fees, and $100 for mental anguish.
Yes.
Wasn't that much mental anguish?
It was a little bit more, but
okay.
I didn't want to go overboard.
$1,175 that you say he owes you and won't pay you. What's going on?
Well, basically, he got locked up because he owed $7,000 in child support in Bergen County.
Okay, hold on. To you?
Yes, to me.
Okay, how old's the baby?
She's 2.
Okay.
So what they did was probably in June, the beginning of June, they locked him up, and after a month, he got out and had a work release program where they let him go out during the day and get a job. So he had called me or whatever after a month of being there, and we were talking, we were communicating, and then he.
Okay, you guys had broken up how long earlier?
Probably a year.
And
but
why had you broken up?
Because he wanted to be with other women and didn't want to do what he was supposed to do.
Did you catch him cheating?
Pretty much. Phone calls. I was pregnant, and he was
with this child.
Yes. Oh, one child.
Okay.
I was pregnant and I was living with him, and he was talking to other females.
Okay.
And we had an altercation where I asked him what was going on, and then we got into an argument, and then we got into a fuss, and then he hit me.
While you were pregnant?
Yeah.
I'll hear your version in a second.
And,
so that's how you guys broke up?
Yeah, pretty much. We dealt with each other after that, like probably 3-4 months after. But
what does dealt with each other mean? You were together?
Somewhat, yeah.
And then at some point it ends. Mm-hmm. And he's not paying child support, and then you put in a claim with the authorities about the child support, so they end up arresting him because he now owes $7,000 something in child support. When they arrest him, are you two on speaking terms or not really?
We weren't talking because...
Okay, so does he call you once he gets arrested, or he waits a month before he calls?
He waits a month because they called me, because what they do after $600, they'll lock him, they'll issue a warrant. But for a year, they couldn't find him.
Or he just didn't cross their path.
Yeah, so
they don't actually go, do they go out and look for him and arrest him?
They say they do, but when I went down there, they told me basically what they'll do is if he slips up and gets in trouble for something else,
then they'll
pick him up.
So they end up getting him once it's $7,000. He spends a month in jail. They let him out on a work release program, and that's when he calls you and says what to you? That
he was out and he was just trying to be nice. So I didn't really play him like too close or whatever. And then after like a week of him being out, we spoke.
Does he not see the kid in that whole year?
He sees her little by little, but he was just doing things where he wouldn't buy her Pampers or he wouldn't do what he was supposed to. So we lost communication, and then we would go back and forth.
All right, so he calls you and tells you to do what? Drop it?
He said, well, can I just pay you out of work release, pay you outside of the court system, because he has to pay for being in jail and all of that. And by the time he gets a job,
and you say yes?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? For all these years, he hasn't paid you outside the court system. You asked for the court to help you. The court helps you to force him to pay. Everything is in place. They've got him. They've got him by the dreads. He's got to work. He's sleeping in jail. He's going to work. They're going to make sure he pays you, and you turn around and say, "Oh, okay." Well, I tell you what, I'll believe what never happened for 2 years. I'll believe that's going to happen now. What's wrong with you?
Well, I felt bad because I've never been to jail, and I didn't want.
Well, you never owed somebody $7,000 in child support. Did you feel bad for what's your daughter's name?
Tamora.
Did you feel bad for Tamora when she didn't have any shoes to wear or any Pampers to wear? Were you feeling bad then?
No.
Well, you should have been, because that's what the money is. It's not your spending money at the mall. It's her money to live, so she can live better. That's what child support is. So now everything's in place. You ask for the government to help you. The government's helping you. And what do you do to accede to his request and say, okay, I'll just make it go away? What do? You go to them and say what?
I go to them and told them that we had an arrangement that he would pay me through a promissory note.
You actually made him sign a promissory note?
Yeah, after we got out of court.
Let me see the promissory note. And so how much did he pay on that promissory note?
Nothing.
No. For real? Nothing?
But then I even asked him to babysit because he lost a job right after, a week after he got the job while he was in a work release. So I even asked him to
he was showing up when he was on work release. You better believe he's showing up when he's on work release because that's the only air he gets to breathe that's free. So, but now all of a sudden he lost that job. What coincidence? Okay, so what happens?
So I asked him, could he babysit on the side? And he told me he wasn't going to babysit on Fridays
and Saturdays. It's not called babysitting when it's your issue, but go ahead.
Well, take care of her on Fridays and Saturdays.
Could he parent? It's actually what we call parent.
Okay, well,
can you parent? Okay, so go ahead.
So I asked him, he's like, I don't do it on Fridays and Saturdays.
I don't parent on Fridays and Saturdays. I am going to use that at my house. I do not parent on Fridays and Saturdays.
Because he said that he hasn't been parenting on Fridays and Saturday. And then I said, sometime can she spend a night? Because I was working, going to school, and I was helping my grandmother. So I asked him to babysit her, and he was like, oh, no, she hasn't been spending the night. I'm not doing it. Or he would say he was going to watch her, and I would drop her off, and he wouldn't answer the phone.
Stop talking. What's going on?
These allegations are sounding real wild to me.
Is it your child?
Yes, she is my child.
Have you been paying child support?
No, I have not.
Dude, were you owing $7,000 in child support?
Most of it was kind of hers, but the other half went to the state for Medicare.
That you weren't paying?
The payment that I had to make,
That you hadn't paid?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And how many kids do you have?
Just one.
Okay. So why are you having such trouble paying for the child?
I've kind of been in between jobs. All the jobs I've been having have been temporary jobs, so I haven't had a steady income.
I guess you ought to think about that before you have sex without a condom, right?
Yes.
Because that's the problem. I pay for my kids. I don't want to have to pay for your kids, okay? You got to pay for your own kids. So if you're going to pollinate the flower, make sure that you can afford to pollinate the flower. See, it's your issue. It's your problem. Now you get busted. You're in custody for a month. Then they let you out on work release. Then you work out a deal with her, and you pay zero on the deal that you work out with her? For real?
I didn't really hold the job as long as she just claimed I did.
Well, why don't you hold the job? How old are you?
23 years old.
What do you do all day if you don't work?
Sit in the house.
Well, maybe you got to get off your duff and get out of the house and go get a job. Do you think?
Yeah.
Since you're 23 now and you brought a life into the world, you love your daughter?
Of course.
No, it's not of course. It's not obvious. If that's what you
How was it obvious?
How is it not obvious? I ask you why you're not helping to pay for her support, and your answer is, yeah, I owe $7,000, but I can't keep a job, even though I'm very able-bodied, because you look pretty able-bodied to me, okay? And your answer is, I can't keep a job, I sit in the house all day? And you don't see why it's obvious to me that maybe you don't love her enough to get off your bottom? You don't think that's important?
Yes.
According to you, in your answer to the complaint, she uses the child as a pawn with you. Tell me about that. Tell me about that.
The simple fact that, as she was saying how she wanted me to keep her on the weekends, I told her if she could bring her anytime during the week, I will watch her. She felt the need to, now you're going to watch her on the weekends as well, just so she could go out and hang with a friend of hers.
She could do what you want to do.
I don't go out and hang. I sit in the house.
She could actually have a weekend to herself.
I don't go out and hang. I sit in the house. So that.
Well, then it's perfect. You're sitting in the house anyway. You're not hanging with anybody. Why wouldn't you watch your own daughter on the weekend?
I didn't say I wouldn't watch her, but it's the fact that she's throwing different stipulations into the equation. If she told me one thing and then try to flip it and try to say something different.
It's part of your duty as a father. Yeah, they're incredibly inconvenient. They come and then they don't go away. That's what happens. They stick around. And they're asking you for money. They're always going out to dinner with you and not picking up their portion of the check when they're two. Yeah, that's how it works out. Apparently, you didn't do much thinking before this either. Because it's not like he was a different guy before you decided to have his baby. Okay?
I thought that he was going to mature. And then he was just,
What's going on with court? I need to know that.
Okay, well, we go tomorrow.
Where?
To child support court to reissue child support because we can't communicate. It's an issue, and I don't want to have to come.
Let me tell you something. You guys' ability to communicate is very obvious that it doesn't exist. You tell me in the answer to the complaint that she files, you tell me that she uses the baby. But then when I ask you to tell me how does she use the baby as a pawn, what I hear instead is, she's trying to make me take care of the baby on weekends.
No,
how is she using the baby as a pawn to you?
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if your baby daddy is saying, oh, you know what, we'll work it out, I'll get you the money, would you go to court or would you trust him?
I would probably go to court if he keeps making promises and then doesn't keep them.
Would you go to court against him?
Yeah, I would, since he has been late on them.
But there's another reason. Why would you go to court?
I would go to court because you see, even if he promises, he probably won't pay.
And who are you protecting when you go to court?
Your child.
Exactly, going inside the courtroom.
All right, she says like she'll bring her over, you know. Then she'll be like, "Oh, if you have anybody over there, you're not gonna be able to see her ever again." Like, it's just too much. Like, if she's suing me for mental anguish, I don't even, like that sounds crazy. Like, she's sending me all these crazy messages on Facebook saying she hopes I die.
Show me that. Did you send him a message on Facebook?
Yeah,
Hand it to my bailiff, saying you
he
hope he dies.
Yeah, because he called me and told me to drown. And he told me he texted me and told me he wished that he never got me pregnant. So that's when I sent that on.
Do you have that text?
Yeah.
That's nice. I no longer want you to have anything to do with my child because you're a deadbeat father and she does not need a father figure like you in her life. The best thing that you could do is stay as far away as you can from me and my child. I can see you never wanted to be a father because you've never done anything really for her. So you can have your wish. You're dead to tomorrow. So now you can run the streets like you've been doing and dead on them for all I care. What I meant to say at the end was I hope you die on those streets you so love. Well, I think it was pretty clear. You made it even clearer.
I had no response to that. So
What's your response to what?
I had no response to that. I left it alone.
No, you got no response to that, that's for sure. Because the reason why she's so angry is because you don't do your job. It's your job whether you like it or not. And guess what? You know what the court's going to do? Oh, I'm going to love this. The court's going to look at you and say you have her every other weekend. That's what the court's going to do. Isn't that going to be something? Your life is just going to change.
It would be stability.
You wouldn't mind that? That's going to be fabulous because that's what's going to end up happening.
It would be stable. I wouldn't mind that.
Good. Fabulous. Then what? You know what? Why don't you show a little stability and actually show up as a father to something in her life? So now it's going to be every other weekend, and then it's going to be all of the back pay that you owe. All that stuff's going to happen now. So you're going to have to stop sitting around the house, and you're going to have to go out and get a job. Now you stop looking for that. I believe you. Don't worry about it. Now you got to listen to me because something wrong is going on in your pea brain. If you think that after getting the government involved in helping you, what you should do is try working it out on your own because don't worry, now you can trust him, even though you hadn't been able to trust him. You need to understand that this is not your money. It's her money. So you need to do what you need to do in order to get the money that is necessary to raise her decently. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So stop dropping it, okay? Stop dropping it. I'm not touching this. This is going to go back. I am dismissing this without prejudice. You're going to take this back to child support court where it belongs so that a judge in the family court can make a decision about the money that is involved and about the visitation that is involved. That is my ruling.
Just hold on right there, please.
So the plaintiff is on her way back into family court, but stops here in the hallway first for a reaction to this ruling. What do you think?
I think that it was crazy, and I think that he should have been able to pay the money. He's a deadbeat, and tomorrow he'll just probably get locked up in child support because he owes money. He's sitting there laughing because he's ignorant, and the only thing he'll do is just go to jail. So it is what it is.
All right, so come on in here on your side of things. How do you see this?
The judge was right for letting it go because she's trying to double jeopardize me with this claim, trying to file it here and file it as a child support claim. So,
what are you laughing about there? Like, what's going through your mind?
Oh, this guy was making a joke about something else. That's why I laughed. I wasn't laughing at the situation, though.
Well, do you love your daughter and want to spend time?
I love my daughter very, very much. You know, she's been using her as a pawn for 2 years now. The only reason why she released me off of child support is because of the fact that she thought we were going to be together. But when I told her that we weren't, then she started making other claims, you know, doing this and trying to fight me for that and saying I'm no good and.
You want to fight for that?
Totally
Want to fight for that daughter? Fight for time with her?
Yes, I definitely do.
Okay, Harvey.
Okay, just FYI, we made numerous attempts to contact the litigants, but our calls were not returned. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.